Hi everyone, really great to be here. The reason why we're part of Endeavour Greece is because of my co-founder Panos Stravopoulos, and we have been part of the program for a year or so. I have to say, it's amazing, the program that you put on, and I don't know what there's something about the Greece team in particular that is just fantastic. So, yeah, so thanks for having us here, and thanks for the program that you put on. It's really great. So I'll talk a little bit about our story. As Elisa said, we went through a pivot at the end of last year. And then I'll talk about where we are now. We are currently raising a Series A, and so we'd be really interested to speak to any investors about that. So last year we went through so in 2023 we were part of the YC S23 batch. We worked on a business which was an energy optimization business for commercial buildings. And we grew it over 18 months to about 300k ARR. We were growing about 5 to 10% per month. And in November last year, we sat down and we said, this does not feel like we are approaching product market fit. And so we spent 6 weeks doing everything that we could to get the business to work. At the end of 6 weeks, we were in a similar position. And so we said, we need to take a different direction. And so we took a step back and we said, what are the spaces that we as founders know very, very well that we can bring outsized impact to? And we very quickly landed on the trades and field services business. Fun fact, my co-founder Pip is a qualified electrician. She spent 26 Saturdays last year qualifying to be an electrician for our previous business, which is extremely relevant for our current business. My co-founder Panos was previously CTO at Bulb Energy, which was sold to Octopus. He built their entire call center operations from scratch. They didn't use any third-party services. I'm a second-time founder, as you mentioned. In my previous business, we had a 30-person customer service team, which is, again, very relevant to the business that we're building now. So in February this year, we launched a new business. We launched a voice agent for the trades and field services. Since then, we've expanded that to email, to WhatsApp, and to a bunch of very bespoke workflows. And it's been going great. So as of the month of October, we were at $1.1 million ARR. The month of November has been an absolutely stellar month as well. This was our forecast. We will probably be, if not 1.5, then probably 1.45 by the end of this month. We have been growing sort of 30% month on month for the last kind of 5-6 months. 4 or 5 months. The metric that I'm most proud of on here is that we have 0% churn. Which we have fought very hard for, and has been is a metric that is plastered about in our office and that we love. We currently have an 81% gross margin. This is we don't optimize for the margin at the moment. When we optimize for margin, we expect that to increase to a 90% margin. This month we have green light. We've got the green light from a very large enterprise contract, which will be our first enterprise contract, which is 150k ARR, and we are moving up the size spectrum. Our current ACV at the moment is 50 grand ACV, which is a high ACV. We're typically the most expensive software product that our customers pay for. So what exactly do we do? We have built 5 different agents that our customers buy. We typically start with an out-of-hours voice agent, which answers the phone out of hours. We start here because it's the easiest place to show value. All we need to do to demonstrate value is be better than an answer phone. When people pick on an answer phone, they almost always just hang up straight away. And so rather than speaking to an answer phone, they talk to our agent. And 70% of the time, they don't even realize they're talking to an agent. They think they're talking to a human. Then we launch our daytime agent. The bar here is higher. We need to be as good as a human. Typically, we can handle 75% of all the calls with no interaction from a human whatsoever. The 25% that we can't handle, we transfer to the office. and then a human handles it. We have two sales agents that are outbound agents. One is called a speed to lead agent, which calls customers after they've filled in a form online to ask them whether they'd like to book in a free survey. The second one is a service reminder agent, which calls people when they have an annual service that's due. This fourth one here is an appointment confirmation agent. We call all of the customers the night before they're due to have an appointment, and we make sure they're going to be in. And then we've just launched our email agent, and we think our email agent is going to be the biggest one out of all of these. Roughly 50% of all of the jobs that our businesses do are booked via email, and so this is going to be huge. Our businesses are typically plumbers and electricians businesses that have maybe 40 or 50 engineers. That's kind of the typical business that we sell to. Many of our businesses have upsize. I'll give you two examples here. So on the left-hand side, we've got James Frew. James Frew has 350 tradespeople. And about a 40-person customer support team, customer service team. We've replaced about 30% of their headcount in their office. We currently handle up to 800 phone calls per day for this customer. The reason why they upsized is because we have a cap on the number of calls that they can receive, and so they hit their cap, and then we upsized their contract. GasCare is another customer that's upsized. GasCare upsized because they brought on board an additional business. So they started with their first business, GasCare, and then they brought on board Hey Electric, which is an electrician's business, and that required more agents, and so they upsized because of that reason. I've got a little demo here. I don't know, is this going to work if we play the demo? It has sound, yeah. It's on a loom. You're going to have to click through to loom. So what you're seeing here is my co-founder, Pip. In the background, this is... just pause it while I give a bit of an introduction. This is not our platform. This is a CRM which is called Simpro that we've integrated with. And as Pip is talking, you'll see that we're taking actions in the Simpro account in the background. The accent, the voice that you're going to hear on here is a Glaswegian accent. One of our customers is based in Glasgow. So we have custom trained a Glaswegian transcription and text-to-speech model. I think we're currently the only custom-trained Glaswegian text-to-speech model in the world. When we first started working for this customer, for the first 6 weeks, at the end of the first 6 weeks, they said to us, guys, this isn't going to work. Every time we read a postcode or an email, it just gets it wrong every single time. And we said, give us one more chance. And we found 10 people in Glasgow to read 3 hours of addresses and postcodes. And it's now, and we trained this custom model. It's now our highest performing model by far. Okay, let's give it a go. I think it might be on 1.25 times speed, but. And you can see on the video here that the job now has been booked directly into the platform. There's another. No, just keep it playing for another minute or so. It's booked directly into the platform. We have identified the skill set that's required. We've identified the engineers that have that skill set. We've picked an engineer in a time slot that minimizes the travel time so that it optimizes the route. And in this case, the job was free because of their cover. But if it wasn't free, we would have sent them an invoice, we would have sent them a payment link, and we would have sent them a follow-up email. And if they don't pay within the first half an hour, our agent calls them back to make sure that they actually pay on time. So it's a very bespoke workflow that is specific to the trades and fields industry. One question I get is, can the horizontal players do this? My answer is no, for two reasons. One, they don't integrate with the CRM, and this is like a very bespoke CRM. It's going to be a long time before they start integrating with CRMs like this. And secondly, this is a very bespoke workflow. Like even just booking a simple job like a boiler service, you have to optimize the route plan, as I say, to reduce the time that the engineer is traveling, and that's not a trivial problem to solve. Great. Great. So the sales this year have been 100% done by my co-founder Pip. I mean, the product sells itself really. I don't think there's too much to talk through here. Our plan in terms of growth over the next few months is that we want to launch in the EU in the next 3 months, and then we'll be launching in the US in the next 9 months or so. We'll be launching starting in France. We have a couple of French team members that are going to launch our French office, and then we will be launching in Germany and then in Spain after that. The market is absolutely huge. Our product is more valuable already than the CRMs that we integrate with. So if a customer is paying £3,000 a month for our product, they're typically paying £2,000 a month for the CRM that we integrate with. The reason why our product is more valuable is because we replace the people that use the CRM, and the people are much more expensive than the CRM. This is a huge opportunity, we think. This is some of our team. We have, I would say, the most talent-dense team in operating in London. 4 of our team have got first-class degrees from Imperial College London, which is the best engineering university in the UK. Just to highlight a couple of people here, Matt Brown was previously a principal engineer at Go Cardless. He was an 8-time CTO at BCG Digital Ventures, which launches software products. And he was a CTO himself of a venture-backed business for a couple of years. Maybe one more. Peter down on the bottom left has got a first-class degree from Imperial. He was previously at Revolut, previously at JP Morgan Quant, and for the last 4 years he's also been the CTO and founder of a venture-backed business himself. So that's a little bit about business, where we're at. As I mentioned, we're approaching raising our Series A, so very keen to speak to anybody for whom that might be relevant. But happy to take any questions if there are any.
Lovely presentation, and it was great to chat with you before. Just curious about your strategy of expanding in the EU. You said there's an opportunity. What are sort of the challenges you see in starting in new markets? I'm sure you've studied France already. And could you see an expansion in Greece, for example, anytime soon in the next 6 months?
Great question. So, first, on the challenges of launching in these markets, the first challenge is we have to integrate with the CRMs that are used in those markets, and they're generally different for each of the markets. Some of the CRMs we've integrated with have a presence in France, which is why we're launching in France first. it's pretty quick for us to create an integration. It typically takes us sort of 2 to 4 weeks or so, and we've done it 5 times already. But that's the first challenge. The second challenge is languages and kind of cultural differences. And then the third challenge is we've built a very fast-moving culture within the business. And the team worked very hard. We care a lot about what we do. And one of the challenges that concerns us is if we launch offices where we're not physically present, are we going to be able to keep the high bar and keep that culture? The way that we solve that is that when we launch in France, the French team will spend 2 days a week in London, or 3 days a week in London, and 2 days a week in France visiting the customers. So London will be their home office, even though they're launching the French market. And that's a playbook that we've got from Legora, by the way. So Legora, I don't know if you know, it's a unicorn legal tech company. They actually have the same group partner as us at YC, Gustav, and so we've spoken to them. And that was their playbook, which they've said has worked very, very well for them. In terms of markets in Europe, Panos would love to launch in Greece. So I not in the next 6 months, but like I imagine at some point. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
I saw that you're very proud of your team, and you said that it's one of the best teams in the world.
Yeah.
My question is how you convince all these talented minds to come to your team. I see there are ex-CTOs, nice companies. What was your pitch to them to make them come to you?
Two things, I think. One is that great people like to work with great people, and I'd say from a tech perspective, Panos is probably one of the most talented engineers in London, and so the very first person we hired was Matt, very talented as well. And once you have a nebulous of talented people, then they attract other people. I think what we sell to people is you're going to get the chance to move extremely quickly and build some really cool stuff, and kind of be the owner of your work. It's not super easy to find these people, by the way. Like, for example, as an example, on Thursday last week, we made an offer to somebody, and he said, I'm not really sure about, so for example, we have a 9 a.m. kickoff meeting. Everybody has to be in the office at 9 a.m. for the kickoff meeting. And he said to us, I'm not really a morning person. Can I take the meeting from home? And then I'll come in around 10:30. And we were like, okay, maybe. And then he was like, well, and also, one day a fortnight, I'm going to need to do this. And eventually we just said, look, it's not going to work out. And he then, backtracked. He was like, I'm really sorry, I didn't mean it, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is, like, unless you keep that bar high, it just erodes very, very quickly. So I would say hiring talent particularly tech talent, is difficult when you have a high bar. Yeah.
Adrian, thank you very much. That was a very cool presentation. How long did it take you to build the product, the prototype?
Yeah, we started working on it in middle of December, and we launched the product in February. So 6 weeks to build the first version of the product, and then we've built a huge amount since then. Like we've just built like massive amounts of product. Yeah.
Can I flip this around and say, how would you respond if someone was saying, well, someone else can do it as well? And I appreciate you have top-notch talent, but someone can flip the argument the other way around.
Do you know what? If you'd have asked me in February this year, I would have said to you that there would currently be lots of people trying to do the same thing. That hasn't happened, and I think it's partly because integrating with the CRMs is not that trivial. For example, when we integrated with Commusoft, it took us 6 weeks or so, and we were on Slack sending 10 messages a day to their tech team. The only reason they were replying to our messages is because we're very close to the CEO, a guy called Jason, and every so often he would push them to reply to us. It's like a very old bad API that we're integrating with. It's not like a modern stack. So I'd say the technical challenge is not super trivial.
You're doing the hard yards.
Yes, we're doing the hard yards. Yeah.
Okay, so we got the Rockstar team shows up at 9 every morning, works building the platform, right?
Yeah.
Integration is a couple of weeks, right? So you got that nailed. Talk about the workflow, because the workflow has to go through a design phase. It has to go through an optimization phase. and the state of maturity of some of these customers, they may not even understand the proper workflow. So do you do that as part of a customer services engagement, professional services? How do you do that part of the trickery of design to optimize, to get the right flow with that organization?
Yeah, it's a really great question. We have moved towards the sort of forward deployed engineer model. And so when we go live with a customer, if it's a workflow that we've already built, then it's more of a standardized rollout. If it's a new workflow that we're building, we sit in their office for sometimes 2 weeks. Like, we sit next to them, we hear them answering the phone calls, we deploy in real time, and they give us real time feedback. That has been completely invaluable. I don't think we'd have been able to move as quickly without that kind of model.
So do you roll that into the license fee, or do you do a services as part of the onboarding?
No, so the onboarding takes 3 or 4 weeks. We start charging from day one, but we don't charge a different amount. So we charge, most customers pay £3,000 a month or 50 grand USD per year. And we just charge from the beginning of the onboarding. And so they might be paying £3,000 for the onboarding, basically. Great, thanks very much for listening.
Thank you,
and for your
Adrian.
engagement. I was very impressed.
Thank you so much.